Good morning, everyone. I'm Megyn Kelly. It's Monday, June 2nd, 2025, and this is your AM update. Multiple injuries following a terrifying attack on a pro-Israel gathering in a Colorado park.
Next thing I know, they're coming across to the center divide where we are with the flagpole and starts hitting me.
As male high school athlete A.B. Hernandez dominates inside the stadium at the California Girls State Championship, protests outside turn physical. CNN attempts to revive a 2024 election cycle boogeyman, Project 2025.
Among Democrats and Democratic leaners, 32% say Democrats are the party with strong leaders. I mean, of their own kind, right? 82% of Republican leaders say that about the GOP.
A new poll shows Democrats have low opinions of their own party. And week 4 of the Sean Diddy Combs trial expected to kick off with more testimony from alleged victim Mia. All that and more coming up in just a moment on your AM update. Are you a yo-yo dieter? You diet, lose weight, then you gain it all back plus a few. Then later you lose it again and the same cycle continues. Well, that can be dangerous. Studies show that this could actually increase health problems, and breaking free of this yo-yo diet pattern is not easy, but it's why doctors created Lean. Lean is a supplement and you don't need a prescription. Lean includes natural ingredients targeting weight loss in 3 powerful ways: maintaining healthy blood sugar, controlling appetite and cravings, and it helps burn fat by converting fat into energy. Listen, if you're tired of losing weight and gaining it back and want to lose meaningful weight at a healthy pace, Lean could be something for you to consider. Let me get you started with 20% off when you enter MK20 at takelean.com. That's code MK20 at takelean.com. Check it out. On Sunday afternoon in Boulder, Colorado, police responding to a Molotov cocktail attack on a pro-Israel group marching to support the hostages being kept by Hamas in Gaza. Run for Their Lives holds weekly gatherings to show solidarity with and raise awareness for the Israeli hostages. An event organizer, Mimi Kornfeld, telling 9 News when the group arrived at the meeting place, a man was waiting there, armed with bottles ready to ignite. Video on social media shows the alleged suspect pacing around, appearing to shout, quote, "End Zionists" and "Palestine is free." On the ground around him, some flaming puddles and 2 groups of people surrounding already injured victims on the ground. One eyewitness claiming on X around 6 people were burned. FBI Director Kash Patel writing on X, quote, "We are aware of and fully investigating a targeted terror attack in Boulder, Colorado. Our agents and local law enforcement are on the scene already, and we will share updates as more information becomes available." Democrat Governor of Colorado, Jared Polis, writing on X, quote, "I am closely monitoring the situation in Boulder, and my thoughts go out to the people who have been injured and impacted by this heinous act of terror. Hate-filled acts of any kind are unacceptable." Police Chief Stephen Redfern, unlike the FBI, declining to call the incident a terror attack during his initial briefings on Sunday night, also saying it's too early to declare a motive, notwithstanding the suspect reportedly calling for death to Zionists as he tossed the firebombs.
So I've been in contact with our local FBI multiple times. We are in contact with them here. We are not calling it a terror attack at this point. Again, it's way too early to speculate motive. I know there's a lot out there on social media, but I ask people just to give us a little bit of patience while we work through a really complex scene.
Chief Redfern confirming the suspect, who law enforcement has named to the New York Post as Mohammed Soliman, is in custody. Also saying there are multiple victims in the hospital with injuries varying from minor to life-threatening. In the past 6 weeks, we have seen the Jewish Pennsylvania governor's mansion burned by a man citing the governor's pro-Israel statements, 2 Israeli embassy staffers shot and killed outside the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C. by a man shouting, "Free, free Palestine," and now this, not to mention the explosion of anti-Semitism on college campuses. We will continue to monitor this story. The California State Championship track meet on Saturday ending with some very crowded podiums in the girls' high jump, long jump, and triple jump events, following a rule change after President Trump threatened to pull federal funding from the state for allowing boys to compete in girls' sports. Last Tuesday, Mr. Trump issuing the message to California Governor Gavin Newsom on social media, with male athlete A.B. Hernandez dominating multiple events throughout the spring. Later that same day, the California Interscholastic Federation, or CIF, announcing new rule changes allowing female athletes who were bumped out of qualifying for states due to A.B. Hernandez's or any other male athlete's participation to also advance to the finals. Then on Wednesday, CIF announcing any female in the state championship who missed out on a medal because of Hernandez would be bumped up one spot on the podium. At the Saturday meet, Hernandez taking first place in the girls' triple jump with 42 feet, 2 3/4 inches. Under the new rule, the actual winner of the girls' event, Kira Gant Hatcher, forced to share the first place spot with Hernandez after Hatcher jumped 40 feet and 5 inches. In the high jump, 2 female athletes forced to share the top podium, again with Hernandez. All 3 jumped 5 feet 7 inches. Hernandez taking second in the long jump, Lauren Webster winning that event with 21 feet and 1/4 inch, Hernandez at 20 feet 8 3/4 inches, winning second and sharing the second place podium with Brooke White, who was the actual second place winner, who jumped 19 feet 4 1/4 inches. Confused yet? So are we. Hernandez's mother releasing a statement Friday about the controversy, stating in part, quote, "I see my child being attacked not for wrongdoing, but simply for being who they are. My child has competed fairly in full compliance with California law and athletic policy." Hernandez's participation sparking protests around the meet. On Friday, according to Fox News, dozens of concerned parents rallying outside the stadium, holding signs reading "Save Girls Sports," "California, follow the law," and "XX does not equal XY," a reference to female and male biological chromosomes. A plane flying over the stadium with a banner reading "No boys in girls sports." Conservative activist Josh Fulfer allegedly assaulted by a counter-protester as he left the meet. Fulfer describing the attack to a local CBS station.
I pulled up to that same corner to come home, and there was someone with a flag. And so I look over, it was someone with a transgender flag. They were wearing a black face mask, black glasses, black hoodie. It was 94 degrees out today. And they said something to me, and I said, "Why are you so embarrassed to show your face? You know, take off the mask." And next thing I know, they're coming across to the center divide where we are with the flagpole and starts hitting me. I had my wife and my 4-year-old son in the back seat. My wife was actually the one that yelled, "Spray them," and my son was actually crying in the back seat. He was upset and obviously a little terrified of what he's seen. About after 5-6 hits, I was able to get my pepper spray and pepper spray them, and that got them at least down a little bit, and then they started hitting the outside of the vehicle. I ran the red light, got to a safe area, pulled over. When I turned around, I seen Clovis PD already going towards the scene and the situation and taking that person into custody.
Police arresting 19-year-old Ethan Kroll at the scene. Prior to the altercation, Fox 26 News asking Kroll why he showed up to counter-protest.
All right, let me get your name and spelling of your name.
Not going to identify, but
Okay.
yeah.
And can you tell me how to, what's your title out here today? Who are you representing?
Honestly, just my trans folk, queer folk, gay folk, all the struggling people out there, you know, Free Palestine, all the. It says a lot that we can't be erased, and you're all the way out here. That's awesome. It shows that all their BS that they stand for doesn't really work. You can't erase us. You can't stop us. You can try, but we're always going to be here. So if you're a Nazi or complicit, I mean, off, really. There's nothing else to say to that.
Authorities arresting Kroll on charges of felony assault with a deadly weapon, vandalism, and obstructing an officer. Kroll was released from jail the following day after posting bail. CNN anchor Dana Bash on Sunday resurrecting a 2024 campaign boogeyman, the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025. As part of the project, the Heritage Foundation published an over 900-page document that outlines policy goals and objectives for conservatives to pursue, including prioritizing family values, dismantling the administrative state, and enforcing our laws at the border. Ahead of the 2024 election, Democrats seizing on the document as evidence of a far-right plot, calling it a roadmap to authoritarianism and warning that Trump allies plan to gut democratic institutions if he were to win a second term.
Project 2025 is a MAGA world manifesto and a vision of implementing a startlingly authoritarian form of the U.S. government.
This is the most well-funded and expansive effort that we've ever seen from the conservative movement to overhaul the federal government.
It is a scary plan. It is a dangerous one.
Then candidate Trump repeatedly distancing himself from the blueprint, saying he knew nothing about it. Bash on Sunday questioning Director of the Office of Management and Budget, Ross Vogt, who is listed as a co-author of the Heritage Foundation's publication.
One of the things that you have become known for is that you were one of the architects of Project 2025. I just want to show our viewers just some of what was on your checklist. A lot of them have been checked off from Project 2025. There are others that are kind of in the pipeline, including ending funding for PBS, NPR, and many other things. Is it fair to say that what you are doing now is, in part, enacting this very document that you and your colleagues worked very hard on, Project 2025?
No, of course not. The only people that are delusional about whether the president is the architect, the visionary, the originator of his own agenda that he was very public about throughout the campaign, in which you are seeing him in rapid fashion go through and accomplish, are his adversaries.
Elsewhere on the corporate media Sunday show dial, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessant firing back at CBS host Margaret Brennan over a question about anticipated price increases.
We wanted to make sure that there aren't price increases, Margaret, and thus far there have been no price increases. Everything has been alarmist. That the inflation numbers are actually dropping. We saw the first drop of inflation in 4 years. The inflation numbers last week, they were very pro-consumer.
Right. But you listen to earnings calls just like we do. Mm-hmm. You know what Walmart's saying, what Best Buy's saying, and what Target are saying.
But Margaret, I also know what Home Depot and Amazon are saying. I know what the South China Morning Post wrote within the past 24 hours, that 65% of the tariffs will likely be eaten by the Chinese producers.
Last week, the Consumer Price Index showing that in April, inflation dropped to 2.3%, the lowest level since February 2021. Coming up, a new CNN poll shows Democrats are in need of a confidence boost. And alleged victim of Sean Diddy Combs, Mia, set to take the stand for her third day of testimony in the mogul's criminal trial. I want to tell you about Patriot Mobile. They support Americans who believe that faith, family, and freedom are worth fighting for. But did you know that they have got cutting-edge technology too? Switching is easy, no store visits, no hassle. Keep your number, keep your phone if you want, or you can upgrade. Their 100% US-based team can activate your phone in minutes right over the phone. Patriot Mobile is one of the few carriers with access to all 3 major US networks, and that means exceptional nationwide coverage. Plus, they can even put a second number on a different network on one phone. It's like carrying 2 phones in one. They have unlimited data plans, mobile hotspots, international roaming, internet on the go devices, and more. You can't get all this from those big guys, so consider making the switch today and experience the Patriot Mobile difference. Go to patriotmobile.com/Megyn or just call 972-PATRIOT and use the promo code Megyn for a free month of service. Switch to Patriot Mobile and defend freedom with every call and text you make. patriotmobile.com/MEGYN or just call 972-PATRIOT. A new CNN poll spelling trouble for Democrats. 40% of Americans believe Republicans are the party of strong leaders, compared to just 16% saying that about Democrats. 36% of Americans view the Republicans as the party that gets things done, compared to just 19% choosing Democrats. And Republicans are viewed as the party of change by 32% of Americans, compared to 25% who say the same about Dems. When the answers are broken down according to party, it appears Dems are having a crisis of confidence. CNN's Washington bureau chief breaking it down.
This, I think, is the most fascinating. How do partisans talk about their own party? Right? So among Democrats and Democratic leaners, 32% say Democrats are the party with strong leaders. I mean, of their own kind, right? 82% of Republican leaders say that about the GOP. Only 41% of Democrats say they're the party that gets things done of their own kind. And I will just say, 51%, Manu, a majority of Democratic and Democratic leaners say neither party gets the party that gets things done attribute. Imagine that's the project that Democrats are working on.
Political analyst Amy Walter on CNN on why she thinks Democrats are struggling in the wake of the 2024 election.
I think it speaks to a bigger challenge for Democrats. They have spent the last 8 years being the party that is the anti-Trump party. They haven't been the party that is the pro-fill-in-the-blank party. So they've been very much defined by Donald Trump, not defined by what they want to be.
Week 4 of the Sean Diddy Combs trial kicking off today with more testimony expected from Mia, a pseudonym for a former assistant and alleged victim of Combs. On Friday, the jury hearing a second day of testimony from Mia, describing years of grueling schedules, verbal abuse and threats, as well as multiple sexual assaults perpetrated against her, she says, by Combs. Mia describing a time when she was in South Africa with star witness Cassie Ventura. Ventura had just discovered Combs was cheating on her, and she stopped taking his calls. Mia describing the repeated calls and texts she received from Combs demanding to be put in contact with Ventura. Mia testifying she felt she could not leave her job with Combs, quote, "He would have destroyed my reputation. I was scared of him." Eventually, Mia did leave in 2017 when Combs shut down Revolt Films. In 2023, after Ventura filed her civil suit against Combs, Mia attesting that Combs' security guard, D-Rock, reached out to her on multiple occasions, trying to get her to contact Combs. Mia testifying she rejected the requests, at one point receiving a call from Combs and throwing her phone, quote, as far as it would go. At another point, D-Rock asking Mia for her address, Mia testifying she believed D-Rock was trying to give her money. On cross-examination, attorney Brian Steele using photos from Mia's social media to contradict allegations of abuse. One October 2013 photo showing Combs at a coffee shop with the caption, quote, just the #1 guy on the Forbes list getting me a vanilla latte, no big deal. Steele suggesting Mia could have reached out to family or friends if she actually wanted help. Mia responding, quote, no, there was absolutely no time, and I had to get permission to leave or do things. I had to beg to go to my grandma's funeral. Steele asking why Mia would do things for Combs like make a scrapbook for his birthday if she was enduring so much trauma. Mia responding, quote, I was young and manipulated and eager to survive. There was nobody around us that ever even flinched at his behavior. I was always in trouble, and I was always just trying to find a way not to be in trouble. Mia is expected to return to the stand today for cross-examination. Prosecutors saying last week they are ahead of schedule and expect to wrap up by mid-June. Combs' defense attorney, Mark Agnifilo, saying the defense may actually take more time than anticipated, predicting the trial may run to the beginning of July. And that'll do it for your AM update. I'm Megyn Kelly. Join me back here for the Megyn Kelly Show, live on SiriusXM Triumph Channel 111 at noon East, on youtube.com/Megyn Kelly, and on all podcast platforms.